Weatherford to...
Well, good afternoon, everybody. We welcome you to this meeting. It's a happy occasion for us because we're welcoming back a friend. And that's the first thing we're going to do. So I'm going to turn it over to you, Judge Chrestman.
Okay.
Do you want to do the invocation and all that first? Is that okay? Or?
I think we'd better do
Okay.
this first, and
Great.
then we'll put him on the board.
Sounds great.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we can do this right up here. You got the oath?
Like your tie, Roger.
All right.
I was going to comment. I was shocked.
That was great.
Thank you.
That's on the, you say passing? Oh, pizza.
What are you thinking?
All right. Before we do this, I want to say it's an honor for me to get to do this and to swear you in. It's an honor for me to do that, but it's also an honor because I know everybody on this board, and I do appreciate the work that you do. It's unappreciated by many, I'm sure, but I know that we're in good hands and better hands after we get this done. Right? So thank you for letting me very much. If you will, repeat after me. I, Roger Grizzard,
I, Roger Grizzard,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully execute the duties
that I will faithfully execute the duties
of the office of Weatherford College
of the office of Weatherford College
of the Parker County Junior College District
of the Parker County Junior College District,
Board of Trustees, Place 4
Board of Trustees, Place 4,
of the state of Texas,
the state of Texas,
and will, to the best of my ability,
and will, to the best of my ability,
preserve, protect, and defend
preserve, protect, and defend
the Constitution and laws
the Constitution and laws
of the United States and of this state,
of the United States and of this state.
so help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you. All right.
I want you to sign and get that notarized. But you need to do it on a hard surface. Thanks again.
Thank you, we're honored to
Thank
have
you,
you,
Judge.
sir.
Thank you, Mr. Chrestman. Good to see you.
Yeah, good to be here.
Appreciate you.
You can stay
Okay.
for the meeting, we'd love to have you.
I know you
Where
would.
it says office.
There's your signature, yes.
Nice to see you.
Let's see.
Hey, John.
Roger, follow the do-right rule. Roger, follow the do-right rule.
I will make you proud.
Good.
I just wanted to say one thing, that it's an honor and privilege to take over a position held by Joel Watson. I've known Joel Watson since he was 3 years old. His mother and dad came in the pizza place years and years ago, and I will never forget, he had a shirt on that said, "Kid for rent, cheap." And for those of you that know Larry and Sherry Watson, Sherry is a woman who believes in using all of the vocabulary of the English language. And Joel started up the stairs, and she pointed to him and said, "Excuse me if I offend anyone. Damn it, Joel, get off those stairs." And I thought, whoa, this lady is going to be hard to please. Larry and Sherry and Joel Watson are three of the best friends I will ever have in my entire life, and it's an honor and a privilege to fill the position that he held.
Thank you, Roger. Thank you. We feel the same way. Yeah. Y'all correct me if I slip off the path. Okay.
You're good.
This is the meeting of the Board of Trustees of Weatherford College on Thursday, October 12th, 2017, beginning at shortly after 2 p.m. in the Allen Strain Community Room of the once again damaged Doll Student Center. If you haven't seen the little bump in, it's lovely. Located 225 College Park Drive, Weatherford, Texas, to consider and act on the agenda that you have before you. So now we're going to have the invocation and pledge of allegiance, if Brent will be so kind.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Please bow with me. Yes, we can stand if you like. We'll stand first and do our invocation and then do our pledge. Please bow with me. Lord, we are thankful for this college, for these leaders who have stepped up, for our students and our faculty and our staff. We're thankful for all the good things you've given us this year, because they all come from you. Please protect our students, faculty, and staff. Guide our board. We thank you for this day. It's in your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Please face the American flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you.
Well, I deviated from the printed agenda, but I thought we ought to get Roger up here.
That's no problem.
Okay. So we have an open forum. Crystal, do we have anyone? No. I wonder if we're ever going to have anybody do that. Probably we don't have.
But you will.
So, the next thing on the agenda is the President's report.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much. Thank you, board. I'd like to start today by recognizing two folks that are not able to be here because they're serving our students right now in Mineral Wells, John Turntine and Linda Hutton. They're from our student life and career service area. Now, over the past couple of months, it's come to my attention that we have several students here that are what they call food insecure. In other words, because of their circumstances, they don't have enough to eat on a daily basis. And several employees have told me that when this problem became apparent, John and Linda began feeding these students out of their own pocket. With snacks and other items they bought. Needless to say, the college and the WC Foundation are now stepping in to provide assistance for these students, but and several other people have gotten involved, like Kay Landrum and Adam Finley and Dr. Alex Ebay. But I want to especially recognize John and Linda. With no fanfare, they took it upon themselves to help these students when they were most vulnerable, and I really appreciate them. And we'll recognize them at some other time when they can be here. But I want you to know about that. I think it's a pretty special thing they've been doing for several months. I'd also like to thank the Social Science Department for organizing the Kent Miller and Quentin Reeves Honorary Lecture Series.
Mr. Reeves.
Dr. Scott Tarnavieski began the series yesterday with a lecture on the Civil War. Sonny Holmes will present a program on the border economy November 14th, and then several other lectures are scheduled for the spring semester. So it's a great thing they're doing. We appreciate their hard work. This is a little bit outside the box for this report, but I'd like to take this opportunity to thank a donor, Dr. Sumant Kumar and his wife Sheila. They established a WC Foundation scholarship in 1999, and they have been giving faithfully over the years, primarily in gifts of stock. And I wanted you to know that last month, a gift they made, that has now surpassed the $100,000 mark that they have given for that scholarship endowment for allied health students. So if you see them, please tell them thank you from the college. And I'd like to also recognize our brothers and sisters at other community colleges across the state of Texas. The Texas Association of Community Colleges informed me yesterday that the Harvey Help Fund, created by TACC, has received more than $225,000 in donations from colleges and others across the state. The funds will provide emergency aid dollars to Texas community college students that were affected by Hurricane Harvey. And I spoke with Jacob Fryer, who is the CEO of TACC, and he says he expects that to be over $1 million when it's all said and done. So I love how all of our colleges have come together as one during this time, so it's a good thing. We do have one employee notification for you today. Ruby Lionberger has announced she's retiring. It won't be till April 30th, but she did make that official this week. Ruby is an administrative assistant, of course, in our workforce and continuing education department, and she's retiring after 22 years of service. Great lady, and we wish her the best. And that's all I have for you.
That's really good to hear. My alma mater, Wharton, it's still Wharton County Junior College, was affected, not as bad as many others, but they had some problems.
Yeah.
Okay. That's really, really good. Many of you will remember that, some of you will remember Sharon Beecham, and during her tenure here, we originated the WC stands for repair, and that hadn't been forgotten. That's evidence.
That's right.
Okay. Item number 5 on the agenda is the consent agenda and financial reports. And it says me, but I don't do the financial report.
Well, we don't go through those unless anyone has a question about them. You just ask for approval on all of those together.
So first we have to approve the minutes from September 14th, and then we had a called meeting on October 5th.
You can do them all in one agenda, all 3 of those items if you'd like.
So we can approve the financial reports and the minutes all in one
Yes, ma'am.
motions?
Yes, ma'am.
So Trev, I'm waiting. You want to do that?
I'll approve of all of those.
Okay. We have a motion. Do we have a second? So all in favor? Now, this disposal of obsolete and surplus items, we got the pictures of those things in the mail. So I don't understand what to do with that. What do we do with that? And
It's already
there.
approved with all those
It's
items
in there?
together.
All 3 of those,
together
yes,
is
ma'am.
approved.
Yeah.
Unless
I
any,
get good at this.
unless
You
anyone
already did it.
pulls one out, well,
Okay.
they're approved.
And that's the stuff that's going to be sold on that online. Okay.
Mhm.
Well, now, this next one says Andrew. It's item
Okay.
6, consideration and possible action, award of TCP and contract proposal, job order contract for emergency roof replacement.
Okay. If you'll remember back in September, you all approved an emergency roof replacement, and at that time it was decided that we would do the type of roofing that we're through Trimco. But through that, we had to ask for proposals for those that would put the roof on. So on October the 9th, Weatherford College received 3 proposals from the requested replacement. And we are basically recommending at this time that McClung be approved as the proposal. We went through and ranked the proposals, and McClung was also the low bid, or the low proposal. So we're recommending we do that. In addition to that, though, we will have to have Johnson Controls at an extra cost come in and pull all the air conditioning units off and the vent hoods and everything, and then come back in and reinstall. But the total price on that is $263,366 on the part that was damaged. Now, the bookstore has a parapet wall between the bookstore and the rest of it, and the insurance company will not pay us for that portion. But the architects recommended that we go ahead and bid it all because of the age of the roof on the bookstore. So when that came in, the portion that would cover the bookstore was $81,200, and that would be at the cost to the college. But all in all, we looked at it because of the age of the roof. I talked with Brent about it. We had a recommendation not only from the architect, but also from the insurance adjuster, and talked to him about it. What did he think about the possibilities of a 14, 15-year-old roof replacing this portion? And then he said, there's no guarantees, and also they kept telling us that never again would we get this cheap a price, the $81,000, to replace it. And so the decision was made that we're recommending that we go ahead and take the $81,000 from the major repair and renovation and go ahead and replace it all, so it will be all together. So the cost on the replacement will be the $263,366 plus the $81,200, and then there will be an additional $75,000 paid to Johnson Controls through a contract already in existence to remove the air conditioning units and the vent hood and all those, so that there will be no question of the integrity of the roof. So we're recommending to you all at this time that the Board of Trustees award the proposal to McClung Roofing as presented.
Okay. Do I hear a motion?
I move that we give the contract to McClung at the prices Andrew just quoted.
And a second.
I'll second.
And then on October the 10th, for those
We
that
need to-
you didn't
We
hear.
need to
Did
vote.
vote.
Okay, vote, I'm sorry.
All in favor? Aye.
Okay.
Okay, then, that was on October the 9th that we took those proposals in. On October the 10th, right after lunch, I got a call that a lady had run into the side of the, north side of the building over here.
It's a big job.
So we immediately had to call an engineer out to look at that, and they reviewed it all, and all that said the whole section of the wall is going to have to be replaced.
Of course.
Was anybody
But the
hurt?
roofing, everything is stable. It did not hurt that, the
Was
integrity of the
anyone
roof.
hurt?
No,
No.
ma'am. Fortunately. Could have been bad.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so it should be covered, all of it, by insurance coverage.
We hope.
Yeah.
And why did the lady run into it?
She said she thought she was hitting the
Brake instead of gas.
the reverse, and she hit the accelerator, and I don't know.
You'll have this.
Okay.
Thank you, Andy.
You could have the only drive-through student center in
I said, we really should have built that new student center years ago, and this would have happened.
Do you think it would be wise for us to consider putting any kind of a barricade
I
there?
said, I think we're gonna probably have
Some of
to
those
go the
people.
bollards up in front like we did in front of the dormitories after they'd been hit twice.
Yeah.
Yes.
So
My left-handed pitcher.
those were Saturday night hits, but
It's always something, Trev.
Oh.
That's interesting. Okay,
What's the
so-
age?
never a boring moment at Weatherford College.
No.
What's the age
We were
of
very
that?
thankful there were no students sitting there.
I know,
Yeah.
that's,
Yeah.
because
That was
that's
what it was,
the
Or
hangout
walking
spot.
by on the sidewalk.
Or walk, yeah.
Yeah.
Or you
Are
ask
those,
them,
are those air conditioners, do we need to think about, while we've got the air conditioners off, do they need to be,
Wrong. I don't think we've been having any problems with those. I couldn't tell you the age of those air conditioners right off the top of my head. I believe they were before 2003. There's been a couple of them replaced since then, but we've had no problems with them.
okay.
And usually if we have a problem with them, most times we can install, like on these single level buildings, we can actually just have the college buy the unit and my people can install them with just assigned trucks. So if it were a, two-story building and we were to be taking everything off, you might have a little bit more question about that, but on this one, I don't think so. Not to say one of them can't go out tomorrow, but
Good question, Roger. Okay, now, item 7 is consideration of possible action on nominations to the Ferger County Appraisal District Board of Directors.
yes, ma'am.
Brent, I'll pass that to you here.
Yes, ma'am. The appraisal district has again asked the board to participate in selecting directors for the district. As you may know, they have a board of 5 directors. They establish policies and procedures for the appraisal district. Each taxing unit may nominate up to 5 directors. And then once they receive those nominations, the district will then disseminate a ballot with all the names. And then at our next meeting, you'll be able to vote. You'll see on the next page in your packet, each taxing district has a number of votes corresponding to our tax levy. We have 295 votes, but we'll worry about that next month as far as voting on that. If the board has anyone that you would like to nominate, that would be great. If you don't have anyone, that's fine. We'll tell them we don't have anyone in particular, but it's up to you.
Been serving in that.
On that letter from Larry in the first page, at the bottom there, Gary Aguillard, John Hinton, Steve Harris, Paul Pascal, and Richard Barrett.
So we didn't have anybody from the college?
No, ma'am, we did not.
Okay.
And it can't be a college employee, can't be an employee of the taxing entity, but it can be someone, it can be a board member, it can be anyone else basically, but it can't be an employee.
So do you feel like we need to, because they've asked us to, and we haven't had anybody in the past? Do y'all think?
Honestly, I don't feel like we need to. If you have someone that you would like to nominate, that'd be great, but to be honest with you, the school districts kind of control this thing, and Parker County, if you notice on the next page, the number of votes that they have, You know, Weatherford ISD has 1,285 votes, Parker County 1,015, Aledo ISD 950, we have 295. So, I mean, we can always nominate someone, but I think they've been doing a pretty decent job and working with us, and so there hasn't been a, Andrew, do you see any issues there?
No,
Yeah.
it just be your pleasure.
Exactly.
Normally, those entities carry it.
Not a lot of people want that job.
Right,
It's
exactly.
pretty time
Rather
consuming.
thinking that for myself. So if we take no action, we just walk on to the next
Yes,
agenda,
ma'am.
right? Okay, so this is Mike Indy. Consideration
might-
of possible action on...
I'm sorry, Sue, you might vote to table it if you don't want to take action,
Oh, okay.
just
I
so
move
we,
we table till the next
Okay.
meeting.
I'll second.
Roger second. All in favor?
Thank you.
Grant. Okay, that's good. I have to get this past Max Smith. Okay, so Mike Indy's going to speak to us on the issue of an AA degree for criminal justice.
Yes, presently the college offers associate in arts and associate in science degrees. They're general degrees, you know. And because of some changes at the legislative level and in the Texas Higher Education Coordinating Board, the cohort has now identified fields of study for, I believe, 8 different major areas that we're dealing with. One of them is criminal justice, and what we're asking for, this will be the first in a number of these, hopefully, that will cross your desks over the next few years. We're going to specify that these degrees are in specific major areas. So it would be an associate in arts with an emphasis in criminal justice. We offer that degree right now, but it doesn't have any title. It's just the associate in arts degree. So what you would be approving is that we add that field of study qualifier to the degree, and it'll appear thereafter on the students' graduation certifications. That makes sense? Questions?
Uh-huh.
I like it.
Yeah, I think it's good.
It's great for advancing students through specified programs of study toward baccalaureate degrees where there's appropriate, but so that they are coming in from the beginning of their programs and not saying, as we've often heard, I'm just here to get my basics, which is not a horrible thing to do, but if we can get them to focus from the beginning on what they want to major in, it's certainly better for retention and for overall performance and success. So that's what we'll plan
Specific
for.
goal.
Yes.
And so this is just the first of more to come?
We expect there to be more of these to come, and they'll need to be approved by the board each time we do one.
All right, so do I hear a motion that we approve this specific?
I just have one question. Do we coordinate our degree with four-year schools' criminal justice degree so that they can go from here to North Texas or from here to get a bachelor's degree in criminal justice? Does our degree fit in with what the four-year schools want us to teach?
Actually, yes, Mr. Grizzard, that's what the field of study presented us by the coordinating board. Our core curriculum is 42 semester credit hours in general education across a variety of fields. But what hasn't been coordinated previously, we had a group of courses we were allowed to offer, but no one had identified what specific courses would be offered across the state for specific fields. What we've done now is agree as a state to honor these 18 hours as the foundational hours for the associate's degree, which will transfer into baccalaureate degrees for four-year institutions that are state-supported. So this is effectively a guaranteed transfer of the entire degree program, provided the student stays on track with the degree program and the receiving institution receives some state support. The private institutions are not bound by this, but most of them still acknowledge it if they have that field of study in a baccalaureate program.
Excellent question, Richard. Thank you. Okay. So we need a motion to approve.
I'll make that motion that we accept a AA degree in criminal justice.
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Okay. Now we hear from Adam on access and affordability.
Policy BI Legal requires a report outlining the access and affordability of the institution for the previous academic year to be presented to the governing board no later than November 1st. The access and affordability document found within your board packet provides information on the average tuition and fees for 30-semester college hours at Weatherford College by region, lists criteria used to admit students, lists the median family income by region, outlines the criteria for awarding financial aid, and it provides a snapshot of enrollment data for students at Weatherford College broken down by region, ethnicity, and gender. If you have any questions over this document, we'd be happy to address them at this time.
And the document is accessible?
It is found within your board packet.
Yeah. But to others?
Yes.
Okay.
By the way, recently, once the board packets are put together, that entire board packet is placed on our website. So you can go to the Board of Trustees page, right next to the agenda, click on it, and anybody can see our entire board packet there in a PDF.
And I think that's a super good idea, really, because questions. Oh, my goodness.
Get your agenda
Okay. Item number 10 is future agenda items.
Yes, ma'am. We'll take a look next month at our equities and athletics report. Also, the financial audit. Is that December?
December.
Yeah, December. We'll have the auditors from Snow Garrett Williams come and visit with y'all. And then next month, we'll have our strategic plan update. It'll be an interesting discussion on our strategic plan.
All right. Does anyone want to add an agenda item at this point? Something that you think we need to be considering? Well, we had talked about
Not yet.
a safety study
Yes, ma'am.
some time back, and understand how busy everybody's been with this enrollment explosion, so I expect that will be picked up at some point.
Yes, ma'am. Paul Stone and his folks are working on that for us.
But they're working on Halloween too.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think it's coming in front of that. That'll be fun. So we're going to entertain announcements from Brent.
You bet. Several events coming up. We have our Foundation Golf Tournament next Thursday. This is the 17th annual Foundation Golf Tournament. Raise about $20,000 that day. And I want to thank Bob Glenn and his folks for really taking that over this year. Really taking a lot of pressure off of me. And our foundation board has done a tremendous job there. It's at Canyon West. If you know if someone wants to play, we can get them in this week. That's for you, Doc. October the 20th, our Fall Jazz Concert is coming up, 7:30 at the Alkek Fine Arts Center. That same night, 1 week later, Duo Azul, two incredible pianists will be playing together. 7:30 at the Alkek. It's a free event, and it's tremendous music. So you mentioned Safe Halloween, long-time tradition, 5,000 to 6,000 kids will be there. Halloween night, 6 to 9 o'clock, and that is, again, in the parking lot behind Couts Hall. Great event. And then we start basketball. Our home opener will be November the 9th. 5 and 7 o'clock, both the women and the men will play that night. And also, it's not in your packet, but I wanted you to know that Dwayne Durrett has been working with a team of folks on a superintendent's meeting. We have about 70 people from 20 different independent school districts coming to meet here on our campus on October the 27th. And we'll spend the morning talking about their needs and how we can help them, not just dual credit, but other needs as well. So not only superintendents, but principals and counselors will be here as well. It's a very good gathering that we'll have on October the 27th. You want to come by and say hi to some of those folks? You're more than welcome to do that. That's all I have.
I think that's a really, really good thing.
Yes.
We used to have that, and bring it back. I think that's a good thing. I would like to interject an announcement. I was sitting at a table out at, what is the name of that place? The Springs? There's lots of people in there at the Chamber Banquet, and they're announcing the Citizen of the Year, and they said that he was born and raised in Plano, and about that time I saw Brent stiffen up.
Well, Baker, hey, we need
This
to make a
gentleman was
notation of
named-
that. Baker won a little bit of something, didn't he?
Absolutely.
Well, babe.
Thank you, buddy. Thank you, Sue.
Well, I think we could give it a round.
Thank you.
I
appreciate that.
The food was pretty good, too.
Yes, it was. Thank you.
Well, my goodness, does that mean that we can now have a motion to adjourn? I don't get to do it this day, I guess. We adjourn.
I'll second.
I'll concur.
So all in favor, Roger, we are glad to have you.
Absolutely.
Well,
Well,
Thank
thank
you.
you. Appreciate you being here.
Good job, Sue.
Oh, my
Nice
goodness.
work, everybody.
Years ago, when Mark Littleton was on the board with Dr. Mintz, absolute rule was no meeting ever went over an hour, and 30 minutes was ideal. And Mark Littleton, of course, remember, they used to feed him. You know, they had lunch. And so they had
Wait a
lunch,
minute,
and if
what?
the meeting
Full
went
meal.
over 30
Yeah.
minutes, he got out.
What is going on?
Oh, goodness.
It was
yes.
good, too.